Good morning, everyone. Happy Monday. It is Soul Mojo time, and today I want to talk about time management. I did a training on this not too long ago on time management for my clients, and I wanted to share some of that with you today. A feeling of overwhelmed is your unconscious mind telling you that something needs to change. And that something is there's too many things on your plate, and it's just stressing you out. So I'm going to share with you a couple of tips and a couple of different techniques that you can use to take back your time. So one thing that's really helpful, I find, if you track your time. Now, I should have prefaced this. Everything I'm telling you today, I'm giving you a bunch of suggestions, and it may work for you and it might not. It doesn't matter what you do, which method you choose, as long as you choose something, right? So if something doesn't work for you, just try something else. So tracking your time is really important. Tracking your time on your projects, tracking how much time you spend doing particular tasks. A great way to do this. Last week on Soul Mojo on Monday, I talked about hiring a VA. And one of the things I said was list everything that you do for a week or 2 weeks out to see what the VA could help you with to take off of your plate. So with that same process, as you're doing that, see how much time you're spending doing these tasks. A great way to figure that out is just to do a brain dump. So, a brain dump is where you just get a legal pad and you get a pen and you just get everything out of your head and you just kind of, let things flow, kind of get everything out. So now that you know what you need to do, I want to talk about the next thing I want to talk about for time management is this book that I wish I had it here. I don't have it. I lent it to someone and they never returned it. It's called Eat That Frog. And I love the book. I read it years ago. It's been around forever. It's a really simple book. And the idea of the book is you do the toughest things on your list first. So the most important things that you need to do. Again, that's called Eat That Frog. It's a great book, and you want to kind of, do your A, B, and your C things. You never do a C thing until you do your A's. So if you absolutely have to do something that day, you're going to be doing, if you give it an A, and that would be the first thing you do. And the C things are more like, okay, I should be doing this, but if I don't get it done, it won't be the end of the world. So again, that book is Eat That Frog. Another tip or strategy is to link like-minded tasks together. So if you have marketing to do, let's just say you have some marketing to do in terms of maybe writing some copy or doing, whatever your marketing is, scheduling some social media, batch it up together and, time block and do that on one particular day or another day. And if you batch your tasks together, you don't have this constant feeling of, oh, when am I going to get this done? I have this lingering and hanging over my head. So things like, sending emails, returning calls, creating your content. Just think about in your personal life, right? You wouldn't run out one day and get gas. The next day you're going to go run to CVS. You're going to kind of put it all together and you're going to go, okay, well, I'm going to be on this end of town. I'm going to go to the post office, get my gas, pick up my prescription, blah, blah, blah. All those errands, you're batching them together. So think about your business this way. Batch your tasks together. And again, back to that time blocking. Time blocking is just blocking out time on your calendar, blocking out time to lead generate, blocking out 15 minutes or 30 minutes a day to be present on social media instead of doing it in the middle of the day, a second here, a minute here, 5 minutes there. Time block that out. Okay, I'm going to spend 15 minutes on LinkedIn. I'm going to spend 15 minutes on Facebook, and you have that scheduled. What time of day are you going to do that? The next thing I'm going to talk about, this is one of my favorites. This one's called the Pomodoro Method. So the Pomodoro Method is something that's relatively new. Actually, my daughter in college is even doing it. So what it is, it's where you kind of head down for 25 minutes. So what they recommend to do is to get a timer, set your timer for 25 minutes. Now, this is you've already batched your tasks together. And when that session ends after the 25 minutes, during that time, all of your notifications are off, your phone is off, you're not doing anything, but you're doing that one particular task, then you have a 5-minute break. And that means getting up, leaving your desk, rewarding yourself with a walk to the mailbox, a cup of coffee if you're working from home, a cup of coffee, a piece of chocolate, a glass of water, stretch your legs, get out of the office for 5 minutes. At the end of the 5 minutes, you can come back and, do another session. So that's kind of fun. That's called the Pomodoro Method. All right, so let's see. Another way of helping with your time management is getting an accountability buddy. Before COVID, when people were working at co-working spaces, this was actually a great way to do it, is meet a friend at a co-working space. So you kind of save all of your book work, paperwork, kind of stuff that you need to do. Okay, let's go to whatever coffee shop or a co-working space a couple of days a week. You bring your stuff together, and your friend is working on their thing, you're working on your thing, and you're time blocking, getting your stuff done, setting time, but you're also being each other's accountability buddy. I happen to run 2 different accountability groups, and it's been going really great. And you're accountable to the other people in the group, and you want to report, and we want to celebrate your wins, because as we know, entrepreneurship can be lonely, right? So I'm going to share a couple of books with you. Oh, actually, I wanted to share one more. It's called The One Thing. So the idea of the one thing, this is a book. The idea of the one thing is identify that one thing that is going to kind of move the needle. If you did just this one thing, how is it going to affect everything else? So think about what that is. I know it's really hard because we all do more than one thing, but think about that one thing that's going to affect everything else. And there's a book on it. It's great. I did some training on it a couple of years ago. It's called The One Thing. We talked about Eat That Frog, and we talked about the Pomodoro, and we talked about accountability. And now we're going to talk about a couple more books. So Eat That Frog by Brian Tracy. The One Thing by Gary Keller. There's also a book, Time Management Ninja, which is 21 tips for more time and less stress in your life by Craig Jarrow. That's also highly recommended. I haven't checked that one out myself, but I know in the research that came up at the top of the list for time management. So there are some apps out there. One is called Forest. It's $1.99 a month. Productive Habit Tracker. There's Focus Keeper. There's one that's called ClickUp. There's some desktop software. For those of you that are my clients that are watching this, I love Trello. So Trello is a great way to manage your projects. There's Monday.com. There are so many different avenues out there for tracking your time and your tasks. So that's my Soul Mojo moment today. Today is just a quick little chat on time management. If you're feeling frazzled and you're feeling overwhelmed, it's probably because you're not managing your time. So it doesn't matter which method appeals to you, which thing you're doing, just do something, make one change today, try something for the week. Try to batch your tasks, try to, time block, especially your lead generating. That's so important. Or just schedule it out. And again, it's the beginning of the week. It's a fresh week. So have a bright outlook and get your stuff done, and let's be productive. Have a great day, everybody.